right, so hey everybody, it's been a little while. Welcome back from the Reverend Rob. This is 40 over 40 tips about business mainly. Sometimes we delve into little life ideas, but I really don't care to do that as much. One of the things that's been happening lately is on LinkedIn, you're starting to see a barrage of, I think, the Gary V experience kind of podcast carryovers. We got a bunch of guys that are 24, guys and girls, 21 through 25, 30. All of a sudden they've come out to give the woodwork, to give everybody business advice. And they've got all these tips of, here's the 5 things you need to do every day, or here's how you structure your business. And with all due respect, and I know actually Gary Vee himself rails on the notion of the 21-year-old life coach. But I think we just need to all back up a little bit and realize at 25, you're not really in much of a position to give much business advice. And that was the whole focus of this sort of podcast, was to say, we're going to go out and interview people a little bit older, over the age of 40. Maybe they've done it a little. Maybe they failed a few times. That would be best, right? To give good advice on what not to do or how to restructure some things. One of the things we thought it was kind of unique is everybody we talked to, whether it made it on camera or not, kind of had a similar theme in what was important to them about it. Like, why run a business is probably the best question. So then people started asking me often, because I've had plenty of business failures. We've gone out and tried tons of businesses. Most of them didn't work. Some of them worked pretty well. Obviously, none of them ever hit that multi-million-dollar sales status, but some of them done pretty well. So one of the themes that everybody kept kind of coming up with, and that we certainly talked about here and believed in, was the notion of the most important thing is to live life on your terms. So if you can structure a business that allows you to live your life on your terms, it doesn't mean that you're a multimillionaire. It doesn't mean that you're driving Ferraris and Bentleys. Certainly that may be on your term, but the notion more that if you want to get to your kid's game at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Thursday, you can. Or if you don't have kids and you just don't want to work anymore on that given day at 3 p.m., you can. And you can live that sort of life that says, I'm going to be where I want, when I want, and avoid that notion that a lot of employers these days have with, they just want to see your butt in the seat. They think if you've showed up at the office and you're sitting down in your chair, then you're working for them. What they don't realize is most of you out there are sitting there on Facebook all day, or searching some sort of mindless internet, news story about the Kardashians or whatever the hell, and just wasting time. And they don't really see that. That doesn't mean that everybody works from home is super productive. But anyway, the point of it all is that we look at building businesses, or building whatever it is. Maybe it's consulting businesses, but living on your terms, that you can be where you want, when you want. Your successes are yours, your failures are yours. You're going to own them both. But that's been the theme of the people we've interviewed so far. Very few people have we talked to have said, oh, you start businesses to be rich. Certainly, if the business is successful, you have a lot better chance of being wealthy than working for someone else. However, tell that to number 5 at Apple or number 50 at Amazon. They're far more wealthy than the average business owner that's been successful. Small businesses' success still isn't going to make as much money as a lot of the men and women that work for those large companies that hit. So if it's all about money, you better evaluate it a different way. I think if you're looking for a business because you want to be in charge of your own life, that's the right reason. It isn't to go make money. There's a lot of ways to make money, and actually running your own small business is probably not the best way to go make money, because it's too easy to fail, to be distracted. But if you keep your focus and keep your expenses down, it's going to probably give you the best life. So we'll start now to interview a bunch of other people with that theme involved, of how do their businesses play into it. But we got asked so many times, so a lot of direct messages on LinkedIn and things from our last little videos about this, people being kind, just even asking what our thoughts were. And so Pigeon, a.k.a. Miguel, and I sat down and talked about this quite a lot, and this is kind of what we thought was really important to highlight that. So with that, on to more interviews. We'll talk to you soon. So I don't want to forget our future sponsor, Pete's. The whole, actually most of my life powered by Pete's. The reason I talk as fast as I do, Pete's, all of these things. Miguel will decide what to cut in and out of this and whether it's not interesting enough. We're definitely going to keep we want Pete's as our sponsor in here. Also, I want to make sure I put a shout out to Brady Hayes. He has actually, every single time I do a video or any of these things, he points out whether or not I've remembered to have my Pete's cup, or whether I've remembered to put a shout out to Pete's. Even in just my LinkedIn post, he will give me a bad time about it missing Pete's. And so, Brady, I want to thank you, because we do want dedication to our future sponsors.